it's Sherry again with my channel, When Life Hands You Lemons. And so today I'm going to talk about what supplements I am taking for trying to conceive. So in my last video, I talked about the decision to try to conceive, kind of like these first kind of deciding factors of when and why and how and with who, my husband. And so the video would be super long if I started talking about supplements in the same video. So I'm wearing the same shirt because I just recorded the last one, but I figured I'd just separate them so that if you didn't care about my story or you just want to hear about my supplements, or if you wanted to just see them in different parts, to do so, because I'm a beginner at all of this and I don't really know how long these videos should be, but I know most of the ones I watch are like, about like 13 to 15 minutes, and having something that's like 30 minutes about me might not be so user-friendly or watcher-friendly. So I split it in two. So in a nutshell, if you haven't watched the last video, we are trying to conceive, my husband and I. I live in Vienna, Austria, so some of the things that I talk about are a little bit different as far as like doctor's visits and these kind of things, but for right now I don't think so much is different. I've watched a lot of vlogs from America and there's similar supplements. You can find anything online. So but I went off of birth control in December, and so now it's end of March and I haven't gotten my period back yet. I'm on day 79 of my cycle, or my kind of like before cycles even really start, because I'm really not sure if this is actually a cycle, if it's like so long and it's right after going off of birth control. But I said before, it's a little bit stressful in this period because it's a little frustrating, again, like losing your period in general and having been on birth control for so long. A lot of people, when they're trying to conceive, they have already like this knowledge about themselves and their cycles, how long it is, and all these things really help when you're trying to conceive. And I don't know what my body does naturally, so I have no idea. And I know that right now my body's just doing nothing, or it's like doing a bunch of stuff in there and I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if I ovulate. I don't know what's happening. It's a little stressful. But anyway, so as far as supplements go, I just want to go through like what I'm on and why. So when I first went off my went off my birth control and we were thinking about trying to conceive, I knew that I should start taking prenatal vitamins. I've never been really good about taking vitamins every day, and kind of getting into this habit now and getting into this mode of trying to conceive. I started prenatals right at the beginning, so like in January. But I wasn't taking them really every day. I was kind of still just doing it a little up and down. My husband and I were still kind of going back and forth about a couple things and like thinking about it. Our plan was originally to start in the summer to try to conceive. But then we kind of thought, we're both ready and it might take longer because I'm trying to get off of birth control. So we just would, green light it now. My husband likes to call it, like green lighting. And I don't know. I think it's sweet now that he said it. So it's green light for baby making. So I started taking prenatals back, on and off, and now I'm taking them every day because I am getting more educated and serious, and it's important to take prenatals as soon as possible so that you've got all the vitamins that you should, which will help you kind of have the better environment for getting pregnant, better uterus environment, and it also helps to be on prenatals or have like especially folic acid when you're at the beginning of pregnancy, because it's important for the baby as it's developing, but also too, it's important to, I think, for your like egg development and for when you're trying to get pregnant. And as I said, since I am kind of just like in this crazy place of my hormones being wacky, I figure I should definitely be on it. So I take prenatals every day. This is an Austrian or German brand, but there's so many brands everywhere, and I think that when I'm actually pregnant, I'll probably like reevaluate what kind I take, all natural and all these kind of things. And I'm going to be going to America to see family soon, and maybe I'll just do more research about like what's the best everywhere. Kind of like a side note of supplements and like herbs and all these things is that like again, I haven't felt like so affected by living in another country. So like if I see something on someone's YouTube that's from America, I can usually find it on Amazon or something like that. Sometimes it's pretty funny going to pharmacies here because in Austria there's no like CVS that has all of these things just on shelves. We have to go to apothekas or like like actual pharmacies to get all this stuff. And so like I can either order it on Amazon and like, you know, wait longer, or I can't find it. But then like, you know, I'll go on my lunch break and just like go to the apotheca, and I keep like spouting off these new names and what the name is in English or what the name is in German. Like we're always working together. The pharmacists are super nice there, and they're always like, okay, let me see. Let me figure out what that is in German. Let me go back here and try to find it. And then they're like, I'll remember it for next time. And now that I'm kind of in this period like of just like going the like herbal route, they're all like kind of things that pharmacists maybe don't hear every day, because they're, you know, some of them are specific to fertility. So I guess I have a doctor's appointment in 6 months, as I said, or every 6 months, because in Austria you have a woman's checkup every 6 months, which is nice. It's in America, you know, more like a year. And so I had one in January, and I have another one scheduled for June. I think I might change my doctor, because I think now I'm at it. I mean, you always want a good gynecologist, and I'm still a little bit new to Austria, so I have to find one. And I feel like when you're trying to conceive, you should have like an even better gynecologist. And so right now I'm just doing herbal things, and that's why, so I'm 3 months without my period, and I guess I could make a doctor's appointment now, but I already have one scheduled, and it would probably take me that long to get one anyways. So anyways, yeah. So I'm on prenatals, and then I'm also on Maca. So again, this is like the Austrian German version, but it's the same thing. So it is a root vegetable from Peru. It's like it grows in very harsh living conditions, climate, and all these things. And so it's a superfood because it's packed full of vitamins. And from what I've heard about it, so it does a lot of stuff. It is like a natural stress reliever. It's a natural energy booster. And then in the realm of fertility, it really helps with hormone balancing. And so right now, since I don't have my period, I feel like this is really important for me, is that I need my hormones to get in line and in balance. And then it also helps for men on the fertility side too, because number one, it's all vitamins and minerals that are good for them too, so you can take it together. And then it also increases libido in some people have said. So this is always good for trying to conceive. So I had to like convince my husband to take it, because I think he like starts to get concerned when I'm doing all this research online about fertility and stuff. And he's like, what are you making me take? But he's taking it now too. So that's been really good. So I've also been taking this as soon as I got it. So I've had it for like 2 weeks or something, and I kind of regret not having it sooner, because it's just all good and it can't do any bad, and maybe I would have been more regulated if I had taken it sooner, but can't go back now. So the other thing I just started taking as of today is Vitex. So this is an American version and everything, a company. And so Vitex is a plant. It grows in Greece, I think, so not far from me. And basically it is something, I think it's only for females, you should take this. And it's also good for hormone balancing. So it's good. I've read specifically about getting your period back. Also for like lengthening your luteal phase, so the specific part of your cycle. If you're having a problem with that, it helps. But I mean, I'm not a doctor, and whatever you decide to take, you should always do your research. And I was hesitant to take this one because it is a little bit of stronger of a supplement, and it can affect, so it's like, it affects your pituitary gland, I think, to get everything more in balance for your woman hormones. And it especially can affect your progesterone. And my sister has gone through the whole trying to conceive, has a baby, had to go through fertility treatments and everything. And so she's super sensitive about these things. And she kind of like gave me a little bit of a warning on it, because she said, yeah, and is it safe to take once you do get pregnant? So if you take it and then you get pregnant, what do? Can you go off of it? Is it bad if you go off of it when you find out you're pregnant? So I was hesitant to take it. But the reason why I'm taking it is really because I've seen other people who have posted videos about it and took it and had success stories. And also, I mean, just honestly, I'm just getting impatient. I wanted to wait until my cycle naturally came back, but I just don't want to wait any longer. And I don't know how long this could be, if it could be another month or 2 months or 3 months. Whatever I can do to bring it back now, I want to. So I am trying Vitex. And you take 2 or 3 every day. I took 2 today. Today's my first day, and maybe I'll take 3 tomorrow, or maybe I'll just stay at 2. And then like once it starts working, or you've been on it for like a month, then you can drop down. So that's what I'll do because I really want my period back. So I'm trying it out. I'm really hopeful. I've like started to feel like my period is coming again. Like super moody and hormonal and crying and crampy and all these things. And so like I feel like it's like just right about to come. And so like if I can push it, yeah. So I mean, again, I'm just human. I'm not a doctor, and my impatientness and all of these things just are playing into my personal decisions right now. So I'm trying Vitex, and I want to, I'm really doing my best to take all of these things religiously every day, so first was taking the prenatal every day, and I've been doing a really good job of that. Now I'm going to take I've been taking the Maca for like 2 weeks every day, and now I'm adding Vitex. And then the final thing I'm adding is evening primrose oil. So like super TMI, like I feel such a hypocrite because my sister was going through this. She would like share some of these things. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you're telling me about this. It's so gross. And now I am completely on board with like obsessing over the TTC process and sharing all the gory details. Like, I don't know, my friends ask, and I'm like, do you really want to know what I'm thinking about right now? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I think maybe ovulation is coming. And they're like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, I'm going to tell you something gross, and I'm sorry. But so, evening primrose oil is good for cervical mucus. And cervical mucus is really important because it helps sperm get to the egg. So I'd read before that, again, just reading, not a doctor, I'm figuring all this out myself, and hopefully my sources of information have been somewhat decent and I'm not doing something bad for myself. But I heard that you should take this up until you ovulate and then stop until your cycle starts again. And so I have no idea what's happening with me, but it's just really good for cervical mucus, and that's what I'm taking it for. And when I started like thinking about trying to conceive and everything, I started like reading these facts about how like how many millions of sperm come every single time, and that they have like a 10-hour swimming journey to like get to the egg, and it sounded really long and tiring. And if I was a sperm, maybe I would just like stop and give up. So I want to help those little guys get to where they need to go, and I am taking primrose oil for that reason. So again, I hope this was helpful. I think I won't post another video until I get my period, hopefully, or until maybe I go to the doctor and figure everything out. But, like I said, I'm just like super stressed not super stressed, but I'm stressed right now because you watch these videos and people are saying like, yeah, I'm on cycle this, cycle that, my periods are this long and my cycle's this long, and I just have like none of that information. So I just feel like I'm a little bit behind, and I'm just waiting so I can like join the club of people like actively trying, because it's hard to consider that I'm actively trying if like my body's just like not capable right now. But here is hoping. I am hopeful. Usually like every other day or like every other 2 days, I'm like just like, yeah, I just need to relax and like let it happen. But then the other days I get like super neurotic and like message my sister all day long about like supplements and like my body, and just send her like pictures of OPK tests. So like, yeah, the ovulation tests. And so, once everything's on track, then I'll just really try to use the ovulation test, continue taking all of the vitamins and minerals and supplements and herbs when I'm supposed to, and yeah, just see what happens. So hopefully this is helpful for anyone who's kind of like in the same place, or, isn't, maybe this is like coming from the future and I've already had a kid in the future, and then, you're starting your journey and this is helpful. And I always like find that super nice when I'm looking at people's YouTube videos and like they're talking about, cycle 9 trying to conceive and my supplements, and then like you look on their channel to go to the next video and you see that they have, an 8-month-old baby. And so those kind of things keep me hopeful, and hopefully it won't be so long of a journey, and, with kind of avoiding the harder stuff, but sometimes the harder stuff has to happen. So right now I'm kind of just prepared that this might take a little while, and, You never know how long it'll take, but I'm excited. I mean, I think that there's just like that excitement at the beginning of just like the fact that you are trying to conceive or that you could have a kid soon, and that makes me super excited. And I live in Austria. My husband's Austrian, so I'll have a little bilingual baby one day. And these are the things that just kind of keep me motivated and happy. So hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, see you next time.